here in Rexall. 222 consecutive sellouts here. The last time a ticket was available in this arena for an Oilers game, November of 05. It's a high-definition telecast tonight, brought to you by Sylvania. Brings us to our degree top protection starting goaltenders. Corey Crawford's last win was 2.5 weeks ago. Since then, 0-3 and 9 goals against in those games. And 6'6" Devin Dubnyk. And he references a shutout the other night in Nashville, his first career shutout. He had 37 saves in that game, 16 of them in the first period when the Oilers had a sluggish start. He kept them in, and they eventually got going and on their way to a 4-0 win in Nashville. The officials tonight, Francois Saint-Laurent, Kelly Sutherland are the referees. Ryan Galloway, Derek Nansen, the linesman. And we're underway in Edmonton. I think you might have been able to see that Nick Leddy is partnered up with Duncan Keith here to open up this game. The Hawks change up their D pairings. Hjalmarsson will play with Seabrook. Campbell will play with Jordan Hendry, who is back in the Chicago lineup tonight. Here's Leddy. And Keith cleared it to center. Sharp's pass didn't work out, and now Kane back in his own end. That jumped away from him. Keith able to retrieve. Duncan Keith has been a +6 over his last 10 games. This one bounced back into the Oilers zone. Tom Gilbert for Hemsky, who tipped it not out. Hjalmarsson's long one kicked aside by Dubnyk, and then cleared to Taylor Hall. He put it into the middle. Now a chance for Hemsky. Couldn't get rid of a shot. Good stick, Hjalmarsson, preventing an attempt. And Patrick Kane rolled it to Brent Seabrook, who shoots it in. Bickle tries to keep it in, did. Now Schmid put it around the boards. And the Oilers able to get out. First period of Hawks hockey tonight brought to you by Ford. Drive one. As Hall's pass goes all the way back to center.
Maybe a little bit of a hook there on Taylor Hall. Great speed.
A bunch of kids on this line for the Oilers. Cogliano, Hall, and Eberle. The old man of the line is Andrew Cogliano, who's 23. Eberle is 20. Hall is 19. Now Reddick's in on Campbell. Cleared over to the boards. Gilbert tried to keep it in. Liam Reddick then did. They get it toward the middle. Long shot blocked by Campbell. Jones put it in behind. It goes out to the line. Here's Peckham with a long shot. Good save by Crawford in traffic. McCarron out to center, where Bickle's pass was picked off. Peckham back in. Now Campbell behind the Hawks net. Leaves it there for Nick Hjalmarsson. This bank pass finds Hossa. Marian Hossa forced to turn at center. Got help from Kopecky. Without a point in his last 5 games, Thomas Kopecky.
Keep an eye on him playing center ice, Pat. When he's played at center, he has struggled, especially in a face-off circle. It's a lot different in your own zone as a center iceman. You got to work with the defenseman, play down low. There's a big challenge here for Kopecky tonight.
The race for icing is saved by Johnson. Now Keith got a hot pass that went off a skate, and it's cleared to center ice. Victor Stahlberg bounced it back in there. Jake Dowell to the corner will get help from Johnson. Ryan Johnson comes away with it, turns in deep. Forgot the puck in behind the net, and now the Oilers able to clear it. Leddy steps back in. Dowell looks back to Nick Leddy. He has room for the long shot into the glove of Dubnyk.
Well, it's pretty evident, Pat, early in this game from our Sylvania telestrator is here's Victor Stahlberg, and I've counted to this point at least 5 or 6 times already that the Blackhawks have gotten to the red line and chipped the puck in. Get your legs going. This will get you into the game. And the Hawks not trying to be real fancy in the middle of the ice. I think it's part of the game plan here tonight. No place through the middle of the ice. No odd man situation. Don't be afraid to chip and chase. Get your legs into it. Get a body. And that will force you to work extremely hard to retrieve loose pucks.
By the way, tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by Lemonheads. You'll be able to locate that at the top of your screen. Henry's wrister is wide. Sharp held it in. Gilbert got it back for the Oilers. And now they're able to clear it out to center ice. Dustin Penner chased it down. The puck was rolling as he tried a shot. And Brian Campbell starts the Hawks back. Campbell, the three Oilers come to him. And the puck taken away. Cogliano rolled it over to Jeff Petrie. Now Schmid back to Petrie. And Cogliano into the zone. He's checked by Boland. Back of the goal. Taylor Hall unable to pick it up. Hall in behind. Eberle was checked by Seabrook. Cleared around the boards. Going to be held in. Centering pass. Eberle he was well covered that time by Seabrook. And Pisani made sure to get it out. The Oilers here at home, they actually have more wins on the road than they've had here as the Crawford fields a bouncer. They're 7-14-4 here in their own rink. And the only team in the Western Conference below 500. They're actually 13 games below 500. By the way, if you're looking for Tom Rennie behind the Oiler bench, he is not here tonight. That is Ralph Kruger, who is taking over for Rennie, who had to go to British Columbia. His dad just passed away a couple of days ago, so he's handling those arrangements and services, and will not be here for a game in Edmonton on a Saturday afternoon either. Now Vandermeer. There's it to center. Jones. Keith. Roll it up the boards. Brouwer rink wide for Hossa. He gets the line. Hossa pulls up. Now Kopecky looks back to Leddy. Across to Keith. No lane. Leddy had to spin it up the boards. Kopecky to Hossa. Stripped away by Vandermeer. Leddy trying to keep it in, but the puck cleared away. Brouwer's long pass finds Keith. He shoots one and a save by Dubnyk. Rebound to the board. Stallberg kept it in, but it's taken back by the Oilers, and they're able to get out. Gagne into the zone. Floats it toward the net. It's going to be grabbed by Crawford for a whistle.
Talking about the opportunities of the Hawks becoming a chip and chase type of team. This puck moves from board to board. Marian Hossa, stop it here. I'd like to see Marian Hossa pad with that great speed bust, and I know what he's doing. He's looking. He sees that he has players jumping into the play. But Haas kind of pulls up a little bit, and the Edmontoners play that well. I'd like to see Marian Hossa use that speed to the outside. Even if he's going to pull up maybe about another 10 feet inside the zone. Force the Edmonton defenseman to back off a little bit, open up for room for those second and third wave guys coming in. Now the puck cleared across for Schmid. A long wrist shot. Crawford's all the way for game of rebound. Jammed just outside the far post. That would look like he's going to be an easy catch, but Crawford coughed it up. Now Schmid keeps it in. Rolled it in behind. And Omark jammed it back to the line. Schmid a long shot off the mark. And Petrie kept it in. Linus Omark into the corner. Sam Gagne looks for some help in front. He was checked by Campbell. The puck rolled to Crawford, who will take a whistle. 7 minutes have been played here in Alberta, and we're scoreless. Ryan Galloway, Derek Nansen. For the Miller Lite tastes great this moment later than tonight's game. Well, the Edmonton Oilers sustaining a little pressure here right before this last commercial break. Ladislav Schmid took a nice shot and just got it to the net. Corey Crawford not able to absorb this. But Sam Gagne throws that puck in a good break for the Hawks. It didn't go off the skate of Jordan Hendry, who was to the left of that man right there, Corey Crawford. You see the numbers so far this year. A goose egg against the Oilers so far.
Now Keith looks back to Leddy. And Kane sends Keith up the ice. Taves has it now. His dad is in town. Brian Taves watching his boy play here in Alberta. As Hemsky unable to get this out, but then Horkoff did. Sean Horkoff, the top centerman for the Oilers, does not have a goal in his last 10 games and only 3 assists over that stretch. Kane passes it to himself off the boards. Taves fights through a check. Put it around for Sharp. Now Taves in behind. Gilbert there to meet him. Gave him a good shoulder, but Taves held the puck. But it floats away from Kane. And Leddy able to keep it in. In front for Sharp. A quick shot and a save by Dubnyk. Rebound Kane just out of the reach of Sharp. Patrick Kane gets it back. Taves dug it out. Here's Keith right to the net. Oh, he tried to go to the stick side but missed the net. Held in by Keith. Up the boards. Sharp to Keith. Now taken by Kane. Here's Leddy. Put it ahead out in front to Kane. He couldn't get rid of an attempt. And Patrick Sharp finds Nick Leddy. His hot pass bounced loose. Kane got it back. Put it in front. Oh, and somehow Taves unable to finish. Great job by Peckham to tie up his stick. Leddy now. Up the boards. Sharp. Into the corner. It jumped loose to Gilbert. And Tom Gilbert might have just saved a goal tying up Taves from that goal mouth sequence. A bad pass here is going to result in an icing call against the Oilers.
A long shift here for the Oilers. Maybe a timeout coming here, Pat, by Ralph Kruger. But what a chance. And for all you young hockey players out there, when you're a winger, your main man is out here. That's Duncan Keith. Ales Hemsky has no idea that's Duncan Keith. He comes right in there, jumps into the play, and it's a great chance. And I understand the Oilers were tired, but you got to have your head on a swivel. You got to be looking around for your man. And nice shift for that line. The only reason they got off the ice, they stopped playing with it. They were tired. It's the only reason they left the offensive zone.
Now a board battle is won by Hossa, but his pass is picked off. Cogliano sends it in. Now Seabrook, the long pass finds Brouwer. Troy Brouwer with a 4-game scoring streak. His rink-wide pass didn't connect. Bounce loose to Brouwer. Turns to the forehand, and that cost him a chance to get it to the net as Petrie made a good block. Taylor Hall rolled it loose. Cogliano helped by Eberle. And it rolled back to center. Brent Seabrook led the Hawks with 25 minutes of ice time in Calgary. It was more than any other Blackhawk player. It's rare for anybody but Duncan Keith to have that distinction, but his partner that night, Seabrook, was on the ice a little bit more than Dunk. And now a whistle, the puck had jumped out of play.
We'll catch all the action while the Blackhawks are on the road at the Next City Road Watch. Be sure to stop by Shoeless Joe's in Rosemont on Friday, February 11th to watch the Hawks take on the Dallas Stars at 7:30. With Blackhawks merchandise, meet the Blackhawks ice crew and more. Hawks and Stars, Friday night, 7:30.
Stolberg got it in there. Jim Vandermeer back. Ryan Johnson has played in just once in the last 11 Hawks games. A stuff attempt is denied by Dubnyk. They hack at it, and it jumped loose. Held in by Hendry. Jordan Hendry sends it up the boards. Dowell is checked by Gagne. Jake Dowell trying to pry it free. Stolberg got to it in behind. A stop shot and a save by Dubnyk. He'll cover it up. We've gotten to the halfway point of the opening frame. 6 shots Chicago, 3 shots Edmonton so far.
Time now for our Kia drives to the net and way back on November 17th. Not 1 for the captain, not 2. But the first 3 goals of the game against Nikolai Hobby-Bulin. And yeah, a couple hats came down here in Alberta.
Toews with a 4-game point streak entering tonight. 8 points in the last 4 straight for the Hawks captain. And, we're talking right at the start of our telecast tonight, Eddie, about the compete level of the Blackhawks not being what it needs to be, particularly in an important game in Calgary. You'd like to bottle this guy's compete level. You'd have no questions about that with your club if everybody had his desire. Chance for Sharp, he scores! Patrick Sharp set up by Jonathan Toews. It's 1-0.
Well, a situation here, Pat, where Dustin Penner took the face-off because Sean Horkoff got kicked out. Even though that the Edmonton Oilers won the face-off, the pressure by Patrick Kane right there shut it off. And Toews to Sharpie, and Patrick Sharp, those quick little wrists, and Ales Hemsky again standing way out. And a breakdown defensively for the Edmonton Oilers, and after that really good shift. This was the next shift after that shift that Toews and Sharp and Kane line had, where they spent at least 50+ seconds in the offensive zone. They're rewarded, and the Hawks with a 1-0 lead.
27 for Patrick Sharp this year. Just his second goal in his last 10 games. And certainly the trade that the Blackhawks made today, bringing in a centerman, is an attempt to get the second line going. That line has really dried up in the last couple of weeks for the Blackhawks, as Taylor Hall steps into the Chicago zone. Eberle couldn't find it. Pastani rolled it over toward Boland. Now it's Pastani, pressured by Vandermeer. He couldn't get it out. Hall, or Eberle rather, trying to pry it free. He did to the middle. Eberle around one check. Oh, in the last moment, he was stripped of it.
Probably had a chance to shoot the puck right away. Good defensive play there by Davey Boland. Joe coming right.
Oh, Toews almost put that right on his own net. The puck seemed to roll just as he was ready to pass it rink wide. Gilbert checked by Sharp. Jones able to get it out for the Oilers. Now Toews unable to get it in. Theo Peckham sends it up the boards. Hawks able to keep it in there. Kane out of the corner. Peckham greets him behind the net. Now Toews, checked by Gilbert. And he'll leave it back of his own goal. Colin Fraser rolled it to Gilbert, and the puck is cleared back the other way to be played by Leddy. Nick Leddy in his 12th consecutive game in the Chicago lineup turns this one over. The Oilers on the counterattack.
Too many minutes.
And that's going to be the call. The Oilers, in the midst of a change, are going to get tagged for too many.
Well, here's that play for Jonathan Toews. His puck just goes on edge and comes awfully close to Corey Crawford. And Pat, you were talking about Patrick Sharp, where he gone into tonight's game with only 1 in his last 9. But how streaky of a season has it been for the MVP of the All-Star game? In reverse order, he had 8 in 12 games. Then he had 6 in 10, so he had 14 in 22. Then he had a little dry spell. He had 1 in 10. Remember the start of the year? 10 in his first 11 games. So it has been hot, and hotter, and then a couple of streaks where eventually it will... You got to come back down to earth. There are very few players that can continue to score 14 goals in 22 game stretches.
First power play of the game here for Chicago. The power play has not been helpful the last 2 games. Kopecky centered. That off the skate of Vandermeer. Keith bounce it toward the middle. Here's Boland looking back to Keith. Shooting. High and wide. Rebound to Boland. In front, Kopecky. Shot it wide. It'll be held in by Campbell. On this road trip, the Hawks are just 1 out of 13 with a power play. Nothing out of their last 9. Campbell moves in, shooting off the side of the net. Troy Brouwer Got it back. Bolin in front. Kopetsky checked. So was Brouwer. And it goes back to Keith. And then jumped away and out of the zone. Hawks needing a change. But Campbell back in. They're trying a shot that didn't get through. And Vandermeer clears it. The Oilers have killed off their last 8 short-handed situations over the last 2 games. And there are 40 seconds remaining on this one.
This is where this team has really struggled all season long.
Both special teams.
Right, yeah. Power play and penalty kill. 5-on-5, not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, competitive to a certain extent. This has been an area, both power play and PK, as you mentioned, Pat, that have been a battle.
Hossa across to Seabrook. No lane. Sends it to Kane. Kane centered. Here's Sharp. The puck was rolling and he shot it up high.
Well, a couple of good looks for both units. The second unit starting off. Net presence in front. A couple of good opportunities, and this last chance for Patrick Sharp off a beautiful pass there by Patrick Kane. You get somebody to the front of the net, Pat, and you're standing there, you're going to draw attention. And it's knowing when to get there, and then when the pucks are loose, then you got to get those loose pucks and allow. Well, big hit there by Brent Seabrook on Theo Peckham.
Who has a physical presence himself.
Yeah. As this play was offside, the whistle goes, and Brent Seabrook kind of lowers the shoulder as Peckham comes in, and the late great Walter Payton kind of made that famous, Pat, didn't he? He would hit players even though he had the ball. He would hit him before they would put any body contact on him, and you see a lot of guys just get bounced off. A very similar play there.
Oh yeah, he's carrying the ball. Guys are coming at him. He was the one who was initiating the contact. Oh man, yeah, I love watching him.
He was sweetness, absolutely.
Yeah. Fernando Pisani spent 7 years here in Edmonton. Now Bickle. The penalty over, by the way. Both teams at full strength. We're going to have a penalty coming up against the Oilers again, though. Hendry in behind it. Missed Bolin. Goes to Campbell. Pisani is checked. That will lead to the whistle, sending the Hawks back to the power play. Patrick Sharp's 27th goal of the year has the Blackhawks in front.
Well, the Hawks are going to get another opportunity on the power play. Curtis Foster. Good puck protection there by Jake Dowling. You see the free hand reaching in. He just uses his stick, gets stick on puck instead of using that hand. Not going to get a penalty. The Hawks will take it and get an opportunity here late in the first.
And while we have a second, I want to send a shout out, if I can, to a very good friend of mine, the beautiful Zandra Olchek, just celebrated her 16th birthday the other day. So good news, another driver in the old sector.
Yeah, there's no vehicle with a bow outside. Maybe snow, but not a bow.
Long pass for Hossa, looking to get to the net. He shoots. Dubnyk makes the save and yielded no rebound. Looked like he wasn't sure where it had gone, but it was in the paraphernalia.
Oh, what an outlet pass. Marian Hossa kind of just sitting in the weeds at the far blue line. Brent Seabrook head up, beautiful hard pass, and that little bounce of the pass did not allow Haas to get that quick speed. And then you see the overhead look, and a good stop there by Devin Dubnyk. And I love what Jonathan Toews does there, Pat, at the end. He goes in net and he stops. It's so important, all you young hockey players out there, if you're going to go to the net and there's a rebound there, don't skate by the net. Stop in front, you might be rewarded.
Now it jumps away from Sharp and out.
I better echo those that shout out as well.
Oh, absolutely, Alexander. He's one of my favorite folks. A great young gal at Stevenson High School. So happy birthday to Zandra. Now Toews is checked and it's jammed away. As we get down to a minute remaining on the Chicago power play.
The play there by Schmid to force Jonathan Toews in a no man's land. High just inside that blue line.
Here's Bolin stepping in. Brouwer looks toward Bolin. That got a piece of the official, maybe. And it was knocked down with a high stick, they say, so a whistle.
Huggies, every little bottom in the NHL have teamed up to help moms and babies in need through Hockey for Huggies program. In support of this effort, the Blackhawks will host a diaper drive on February 16th when the team takes on the Minnesota Wild. Fans who bring in unopened packs of diapers or make a cash donation have the chance to win prizes. Learn more at NHL.com.
Keith will try to dump it in. That hit one of the linesmen. Now jump toward Brouwer to Campbell. A shot. That didn't get through. And the puck cleared the other way. Peckham made that block, and that hurt him. Hit him in the hand. Keith for Bolin. He's got room. Going to get in. Bolin shot. He tried to go to the stick side. Hawks have been seemingly targeting that area on their chances when they've had time to pick a spot. Now, but a couple of chances have missed the net when they've tried to do that. Dubnyk takes up a lot of space. 6'6" for the Oiler netminder.
Well, he's not afraid to get aggressive too, Pat, on that last chance for Bolin. He came out a little bit. You know, big goaltender. You want to try to challenge him at his feet.
Penalty over. Both teams at full strength. And now Dustin Penner, subject of trade speculation, as is this guy, Alex Hemsky. Trade deadline still a couple of weeks away in the NHL. Oh, Gilbert was open but couldn't field the pass. Now a long shot. Peckham tipped it. Save. Oh, a second save possibly by Crawford with a left pad. He made two good stops on Hemsky. The first was a redirect. Hemsky in behind to Horkoff. Horkoff wants Penner. The pass broken up by Seabrook. Horkoff has it back alongside Peckham. Tip and deflected wide. And Pickle chased it down and cleared it out of there. Will it go far enough for icing? No. And Peckham will have to play it. Duncan Keith. Up the boards to Victor Stahlberg, getting it out. Sam Gagner. Checked by Stahlberg. Dug out by Johnson. He couldn't get rid of a shot. Now Stahlberg. And Johnson in the corner. Hossa came on a change. Hossa turns deep. Walked out in front for Johnson. He couldn't get rid of one. And Hossa back to Keith. He shoots one. Good save by Dubnyk. As we go to the final minute of the opening period. Here's Gagner leading the Oilers out. Sam Gagner has 4 points his last 4 games. Gets this in. But good pressure that time from Stahlberg. And Taves takes it away to Kane. Patrick Kane 3-on-3 into the zone. Pulls up. Now the trailer is Keith. And he just jumped over his blade. Kane back to Seabrook at the line. Petrie back of his own goal to Schmid. Taves got to Schmid in the corner. Taves won the puck. Up the boards for Seabrook. Now Sharp to the other corner. 5 seconds left. His pass picked off. Oilers get it out. Hall gets into the zone with a shot. That would not have counted as the horn sounded before the puck got to the net. Corey Crawford only tested 4 times in the first period, was perfect. The Hawks had 10 shots at the other end. And Patrick Sharp set up beautifully by Jonathan Taves as the game's only goal. The Rexall Place here in Edmonton. It's time for our U.S. Cellular text message poll question. Besides Wayne Gretzky, who is the greatest Edmonton Oiler of all time? You wouldn't go wrong with any of those choices. You can text your answer to 29653. Stick around for the Jose Cuervo Blackhawks postgame show. for the final results, or you can check it out on csnchicago.com.
Played against a few of those guys. Oh, let me rephrase that. I tried to.
Okay, now if you tell me you were a plus player against it,
what do you mean? Well, yeah, that's right.
No, I know what I mean.
Boy, I walk into this building and I'm like twitching. Where's 99? Where's 7? Where's 17? Where's 9? A
team that wound up with 6 guys in the Hall of Fame. Wow. Well, a real good start for the Blackhawks. And they'll take a 1-goal lead here into period 2, which is underway.
And the second period of Blackhawk hockey is brought to you by Hyundai. Visit myhyundaichicago.com today.
Crawford wanted to get it to Keith. He did not. And Jones could not execute a pass. Out comes Kane to Sharp. With Kane heading for the net. There's the pass. He's well covered by Gilbert. Patrick Kane got it back. And then Gilbert for the Oilers. Met by Taves. They have had a lot of get-togethers already in this game. Kane across to Keith. Threw it in deep. Taves trying to get it out to the front. He was checked. Taken away by Reddick. Liam Reddick shot it to the Hawks' blue line. Taken by Keith.
This line has been real effective here against the Oilers.
Vandermeer pursued by Bowen. Jim Vandermeer won that puck, and the Oilers able to get out. Omar put it into the zone. Horkoff could not get it. Then a centering attempt. A stop attempt was denied by Crawford. And Bickle back to center. Curtis Foster left it for Sean Horkoff. Oh, Bolin went down awkwardly after contact, and he labors a bit to get to the Hawk bench. Hemsky into the Chicago zone. Dropped it back. Horkoff put it in front. That pass didn't work out, and back come the Hawks. Kopetsky carries it in. Looks for Seabrook to the goal. Big save by Dubnyk. Rebound Kopetsky. Did Kopetsky score? No. Dubnyk apparently made the save while prone on the ice. Well, the Hawks will head to a power play.
Well, Thomas Kopetsky. Beautiful little pass to Brent Seabrook, jumping into the play. The Edmonton Oilers being broken down. Alex Hemsky gets a hook there. And then after the opportunity for Seabrook, Thomas Kopetsky tries to elevate this puck. Dubnyk down, gets the trapper up. And the penalties on Jim Vandermeer. It could easily have been one on Hemsky as well.
The third straight power play for the Blackhawks. They're still in the early part of the second period. Keith leads them out. Kane sends it around the boards. Hossa looks down low for Taves. Hossa put it back to Sharp. Marion Hossa off the boards. Put it to Kane. In front is Taves, and the pass was tipped wide. Then the Oilers able to get it out. Patrick Kane met by Schmid. His clearing attempt held in by Sharp. Kane off the boards toward the middle. Could not get rid of an attempt. Kane hangs on. There's Taves in front for Brower. Big save. Dubnyk rebound. Shot up high by Keith. He had Dubnyk down. Tried to elevate, but he lifted it over the crossbar. Now Keith. A long blast. Dubnyk the save. No rebound, and a real good net presence there from Brower and Taves. But they found nothing coming away from Dubnyk.
Oh, a couple of great chances. The last one for Troy Brower. Jonathan Taves to Troy Brower. He pops out. And the Hawks with some great puck movement. Watch the rotation here from a Sylvania Telestrator. It's going to go from Hossa to Kane, but I want everybody to watch Jonathan Taves because he's going to move away from Patrick Kane, get that passing lane, and it just jumps over. It's a great execution. Stay with it. Don't get frustrated. A couple of great chances.
Kopetsky goes across to Seabrook, shooting off the side of the net. Rebound back to Kopetsky. Kopetsky tried to get it down low. Bolin had it escape him. Now he got it back. Campbell across to Seabrook. Tried to keep it in, did not, and the offside whistle sounds.
Well, tonight's Illinois Lottery Powerball jackpot is $63 million. With $63 million, you could buy a Chicago Blackhawks 2010 Stanley Cup Champions DVD for almost everyone in the city of Chicago. I hope they all have one. Tell us what you would do with the jackpot at csnchicago.com.
Brent Seabrook has 42 hits in his last 11 games. Now Jalmerson.
You know, it just came to me. Could I buy that many in the VCR type? Probably not. There aren't many of those machines left, I guess.
I don't think so. And you're probably looking for an 8-track, too, aren't you? Stallberg trying to race in. The Oiler penalty over, both teams at full strength. Dow, a snuff attempt. Down low, Dubnyk, and he'll smother it at the side of the goal.
Well, the one thing that's been pretty evident here tonight has been the effort away from the puck, and there's been a lot of guys around the net, and the sense of urgency for that man right there. I think he's got to be pretty pleased with the way that his team has performed to this point. It's only a 1-0 lead. You want to stay with it, but there's been a lot of simplification, Pat, going on here. We showed early dumping and chasing, chipping and supporting, those type of things, but there have been players around the net all evening long.
Kane for Sharp in the corner. Patrick Sharp back to the line. Campbell walks in, shooting. That's blocked by Peckham, who chased it down and cleared it. They'll extend it back in there. Pagliano pursued by Taves. It's jammed back to Campbell at the line. Looking for Kane. Now Taves in the corner. Again, he and Gilbert come together. This time the Oilers get the puck. And Jones sends it to Gilbert. Jordan Hendry hacked it up the boards, held it. Everly, a long shot, tip, and that deflected wide. Hendry put it off the glass and out. And Schmid sends it back in there. Taylor Hall, just 19 years of age. Now a steal by Bickle. Brian Bickle, a breakaway for the blue line, in to the back end. He scores! Bickle, who had just one goal in 13 games, converts on a breakaway. Hawks up 2.
Well, the Hawks got away with one here, Pat. Look at the holding of the jersey going on. If I had a yellow flag, or the referee did, he probably would have thrown it for holding. But the Hawks get a break. It goes over the stick of Petrie, and here comes Brian Bickle. Couple of moves, and he slides it in. Watch the patience here with the puck. Hold, wait, and then he finds that area in between the post and the left leg of Devin Dubnyk. But the key to that was the speed, the acceleration, and the keeping the puck in a shooting position. Dubnyk having to respect that, and then the nice hands there by Brian Bickle.
So his 13th goal of the year has the Hawks up 2. It's an unassisted tally, and now Bickle steps back in. Got it to Pistani. 2-on-1 down low. He tried to get it to Bolden with a bad pass, and Seabrook shot it wide. It's held in by Bickle. Bolden got turned around. Bickle took it back to the backhand. He'll try again. This one soaked up by Dubnyk.
We'll watch Comcast Sportsnet game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Mentioned tonight the Hawks start 3 games in 4 days to finish off this road trip. Will be in Dallas on Friday night. Marty Turco going to get the start in what should be an emotional game for him. And then we'll be in Phoenix on Saturday night. Kopecky could not get that to the front of the net. Now Nick Leddy bounced it loose. Johnson didn't get it out of there. In behind the goal. It's jammed back to Petrie. A long wrist shot. Never got to the net. Kopecky moved it out to Johnson. He gets the line, leaving for Brouwer. He tees it up. And a short side save by Dubnyk. Petrie dumped it in there.
Michigan State guy.
Yeah.
USHL.
Jake Dahl into the Blackhawks zone. Vandermeer took it away. Bounced it into Chicago ice. Now Curtis Foster threw it in deep. Taylor Hall's behind the net. He's got 17 goals this year, and 11 of those have come on the road. Back to the line. Vandermeer, long shot. Fought off by Crawford. That's only the second shot on goal for the Oilers here in this period. And the Hawks then guilty of icing.
Well, this last shift, Marian Hossa was going to the corner in a pressure puck. Watch the elbow of Ladislav Schmid right there. He's going to move the puck. And Big Hoss took that one right on the jaw. As soon as that puck went up ice, he jumped on the bench, got a little attention from Mike Gapsky, and seems to be all right. I like how that Schmid plays, Pat. He's a good defender. He has some offensive ability.
He's 25 years old. He's got 300 games in the league, and
very cap friendly as well. His cap hit just over $1 million bucks.
He could buy a couple of those DVD championship videos if he wanted. Or I'll sell him an 8-track.
All right, now Patrick Kane bounces it in. Jonathan Toews has extended his scoring streak to 5 straight games tonight. Kane's got it now. Toews got away from Cogliano, cuts to the middle, and too much traffic there. It's held in by the Hawks, and Keith with a long blast off the mark. Leddy kept it into Kane. Now Sharp. Taken away by Reddix. And Leddy battling for the puck. Kane had to head for a change, and the Oilers try to start back. Hemsky into the Chicago zone. Good steal by Dave Bolin in the passing lane. And Jeff Petrie back for Edmonton. Oilers dump it in. Keith had it taken away. Hawks able to get it back, though, and out comes Pisani. Boland, a long one off a leg. And Bickle checked in deep. Elish Hemsky pushed it to center ice, where Seabrook will put it on the stick of Kopecky around a check. An extra move of the line, though, and Bickle in ahead of the play. Brian Bickle offside there, but a couple of shifts ago, he doubled the Chicago lead with a breakaway strike.
Degree and Marty Turco are proud to provide top protection for the Chicago Blackhawks. Degree will sponsor a father and son top protection shootout hosted by that man right there, Marty Turco. The event will take place on February 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the ice rink at Daily Bicentennial Plaza in downtown Chicago. For every puck that is blocked at the event, a $100 donation will be made at a local youth hockey organization. For more information, please visit www.facebook.com. Degree Men.
Oh, what a wonderful setting for what should be a terrific event. Down in the Millennium Park at the skating rink, as that puck goes out of play. Troy Brouwer tonight playing with Kopecky in the middle and Hossa on the right side. Talked about the physical presence of Brent Seabrook, and certainly Troy Brouwer has been able to add that, or not add, continue that element to his game. 20 hits in the last 5 games for big number 22.
Well, it's certainly an area that the Hawks need to continue to bring. And if the hit is there, then everybody can go through people. Simple play right like that from Marian Hossa. Just not have to run anybody into the third row. I mean, every once in a while, that's okay. But a simple play there by Hossa on Schmid.
Hall. Short Hendry there to meet him. Hendry's got his dad in attendance tonight as well. Now it's taken by Petrie. The long wrist shot didn't get to the net. Petrie again. Sends it across. Schmid. Lifted to Everly. Now a good check by Seabrook, and the Hawks had it, but turned it over. Kopecky's pass off the mark. Hossa came up with it, though, got it out. Eberle to Gagne. Taking away Kopecky, bouncing it out of there. Hossa nearly took it away, then did. Got it to Brouwer. 2 Oilers got to him, and now Tom Gilbert for Edmonton. Put it to Sam Gagne. Gagne turned it over. Kane, his good buddy, took it away. It's going to be a penalty coming up. Patrick Kane just stripped it from the centerman he played junior hockey with. Got a scoring chance out of it. And then to add more insult to the injury, Gagne takes the penalty. The Hawks to the power play, up 2.
Well, you mentioned, Pat, 2 guys that played together for the London Knights of the Ontario Hockey League. Patrick Kane with the opportunity, and Sam Gagne in the box. Of course, his dad, longtime veteran of the National Hockey League, Dave Gagne. And the Hawks with an opportunity on the power play.
Now Seabrook keeps it in. Patrick Sharp sends a rink wide that was tipped away from Kane. Good stick Cogliano, who then cleared it. Seabrook for Kane into the zone. Sharp. Checked by Peckham in the corner. Sharp able to hang on to it. Now Taves for Kane out there. Hossa out in front. He got it to Kane. Patrick Kane down low. Taves looks to Hossa. Sharp's one-timer is wide. It's held in by Seabrook. Gilbert takes it away and cleared it.
Well, Sharpie hits the net there. I think he's got his second one of the night. Lots of good things going on in his power play. Stay the course.
Sharp looking to squeeze through a couple of checkers. This puck held in by Keith. Brouwer left it for Kane. Troy Brouwer back of the net to Dave Bolin. Sharp sneaks in. It goes back to Keith. He gave it to Kane, who's been out for a minute and a half on this power play. Now Brouwer's got it. Rink wide to Sharp, and his stick broke as the puck arrived. One last rush on this Chicago power play. Boland lost it as he got in, carried on by Kopecky. Keith scurries to keep that in. Knocked away by Frazier. He might get the bouncing puck. Frazier, a stuff shot, and a save by Clifford, who's able to keep vision and cover it up.
Well, that's a Duncan Keith made a real good play, Pat, to keep the play alive. He tried to slide the puck over to Brian Campbell, and the Edmonton Oilers read it. This puck is rolling, and former Blackhawk Colin Frazier not able to really do much with it, but the battle in front of the net. Look at Ryan Jones' little cross-check to the back of Brian Campbell, and then the man known as Fraz, Colin Frazier, gives a little shot to Campbell as well.
Stolberger, wrister, and that's gloved by Dubnyk, who hangs on to it.
Well, Friday, the Hawks road trip ranges on in Dallas. Tune in as Chicago pays a visit to Turco's Old Turf. Say that 3 times fast. Turco's Old Turf. Coverage begins at 7 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live. Hawks and Stars Friday night at 7. On your home of the Hawks, Comcast Sportsnet.
Seabrook's long shot. Dubnyk, no rebound there. 7 minutes remain here in period 2, a period in which the Oilers so far have had 4 shots. And they've had only 8 so far in the game. Hawks have had 21 up till now, and if you joined us late, that is Ralph Kruger, the acting head coach tonight, because Tom Rennie's dad passed away a couple of days ago, so he's gone to handle the arrangements back in British Columbia. Ralph Kruger, no stranger to the role of a head coach. 13 years as the head of the Swiss national team, and was actually their coach in Vancouver during the Olympics. Also spent 9 years in Germany and in Austria as the head coach in a couple of different stops. Jake Dowell dumps this in. Now out come the Oilers. Taylor Hall into the zone. Centered it, got it back. Hall with a shot. Crawford able to make the save. The rebound jammed through the blue paint. And then held in. A long shot. Pekka, that's handled by Crawford with no rebound.
A 4-on-2 for the Edmonton Oilers from the red line in. And Taylor Hall eventually will give it go. And watch how much room is on the short side. Right there, Corey Crawford's leaning there, Pat, and Taylor Hall recognizes. Look how early Corey Crawford's going down. There's a lot of room upstairs. If he thinks about elevation, the Oilers have a goal. But a good stop there by Corey, and no second chance opportunity that he had to stop.
Ladislav Schmid bounced it into Chicago territory. Jordan Hendry. Bayarvi trying to pick it off the boards. Went down. And Campbell looks toward Bickle. Now Schmid back for Edmonton. That pass missed Omark, and the Hawks on the counterattack. Sharp looking to race in. He's hit by Schmid. Taves carried on. Dropped it to Sharp. A blast. He was hoping for a Kane redirect, but it missed him. Now Campbell put it across to Sharp. Hot pass. Jumped away from Kane. And Omark cleared it out of there. Tagliano racing in against Sharp, who did well to neutralize him. Oilers get it back, and Tagliano turns deep, tried to center. It's deflected out of the zone. Now Kane on the counter, back the other way. Patrick Kane pulls up, and Peckham came to take it away. Jones put it deep into Chicago ice. Left into the corner, a shot handled short side by Crawford. And Kopetsky dropped it back, taken by Nick Leddy. This is likely to be Nick Leddy's biggest ice time game of the year. He normally gets only a dozen minutes or so, but when you're matched, you're paired up with Duncan Keith, you're going to count a lot more than that. Kopetsky looking for a little help. Now Kopetsky for Brouwer. Not in the wheelhouse, though, and the Oilers come back the other way. Barkov trying to center, bounce away from Penner. Now held in by Foster with a long shot. Tip, good save by Crawford. Redirect. It's kicked back toward the goal crease for the Hawks have it, and Hossa gets out. That may be the best save of the game for Corey Crawford on a long shot that was tipped. Dowell touched it to Stallberg. Johnson to the net. There's the pass, and it was behind it. So Everly rolled it back to center ice. Now Johnson into the zone. Petrie out it to Hall. 19-year-old Taylor Hall Cleared it to Jordan Eberle. Looking back to Hall. Chalmerson in the way of the pass. It goes to Crawford, who will hang on. And a moment ago, Corey Crawford came up with maybe his best stop. The puck to change direction. 3 minutes remain in period.
Here's a 2-on-1 situation for Blackhawks, but I want everybody to watch the back checker, Ryan Jones. Watch his left arm. He's telling the defenseman, you take the other guy, I'm going to take the far guy going to the net. And that allows the defenseman to come all the way over and take away time and space by Patrick Kane. And a real smart play there by the former Nashville Predator. Played his college hockey at the Miami of Ohio. Recruited by a friend of mine, Jeff Blasher, who's now the head coach at Western Michigan. And a smart play there. I mean, he didn't yell anything, Pat. He just directed traffic, and they shut down a possible 2-on-1 play because of the nice communication there by Ryan Jones. And a great pickup by our fine crew here in Edmonton tonight.
Now Payarvi unable to get control of it. Chalmerson finally did to Seabrook. And Schmid back for the Oilers. Skated right into traffic. Taves took it away. Taves drive to the net. Tried to center. It goes across to Kane. And Payarvi took it away. Omark into Chicago territory. It didn't have any help. His mates were changing. So now Patrick Sharp cleared it to center ice. Keith looks back to Leddy. Duncan Keith trying to go up the middle for Taves. It goes all the way to Dubnyk, and he will cover it up. We've mentioned the name a couple of times tonight, Jeff Petrie, who you may not have heard of, because this is only his 19th NHL game. There you see he's 23 years old. But if the name's familiar, it might be because you're a White Sox fan. We have a couple White Sox fans in the truck. Rossi and Mike Leary cover White Sox baseball here on Comcast. But Jeff's dad, Dan Petrie, was a terrific pitcher for the Detroit Tigers back in the 80s. Was actually part of their 84 World Series team. So Dad made his money in Major League Baseball, and the son, who is a Spartan, is making his money in the National Hockey League now.
Very intelligent to go to
absolutely
Spartan country.
Kopetsky turned it over, then managed to get it back. And the Oilers able to keep it in. Here's Peckham with a long blast. Tip! Oh, did Crawford flash the glove on a redirect?
Well, the Oilers are starting to get some offensive opportunities. Alex Hemsky with the shot. Marian Hossa goes for the block shot. 10 in blue. Redirects it. It just goes right in to the trapper of Corey Crawford. Pat, this is probably the most aggressive I've seen Corey Crawford be in the last little while. He is well outside that crease, with Edmonton Oilers standing right around him. Well, Dustin Penner could have done a better job of trying to get to the front of the net there and kind of stand it off to the side, trying to play easy in front of Corey Crawford. But what a reaction with the left glove off the redirect from Sean Horkoff.
Final minute of period 2. Vandermeer able to bounce it back. Chased down by Seabrook. Dave Boland to Fernando Pisani. Bickle to the corner. Now Pisani had it taken away. Chalmerson tried to keep it in. So the Oilers able to bounce it out. Eberle couldn't pick up the rolling biscuit. Now the Oilers need to regroup.
Imagine if the Oilers got a player by the name of Ivory. You could have Eberle and Ivory out there on the same at the same time. I think that would be great. They get Hall, Ivory, and Eberle. We've had a lot of free time the last couple of days.
It's down to end period 2. And in the last 2 minutes here of the second period, the Oilers have had their most assertive offense all night.
Boy, Corey Crawford, outstanding very late, as you mentioned, Pat. The last couple of minutes, time coming down, simple little play, just get the puck to the net. And again, we mentioned earlier about Jonathan Toews going hard to the front of the net and stopping. Look at Taylor Hall. He's there. He doesn't go skate behind the net. Not once, but twice, Pat, with less than 2 seconds. Taylor Hall has a great chance at a pat on the backside from Marty Turco for Corey Crawford.
12 shots for each team in period 2. The Hawks have had 22. The Oilers now have had 16. The second period breakaway from Brian Bickle put his team up a pair, and Crawford was stellar. Welcome back to Edmonton, where the Hawks will take a 2-goal lead into the third period. Before that starts, assistant coach Mike Kitchen has been nice enough to join us from behind the bench. Well, probably 37 good minutes out of the first 40, but wow, you sure needed Corey Crawford at the end of that second, didn't you?
Well, we certainly did. I thought we had a terrific first period. We set the pace of the game. And then halfway through the second period, we got away from our game. We started to force pucks into the slot instead of putting pucks at the net.
Hey, Kitch, can you please tell us, you spent a couple of years with the Florida Panthers. The Blackhawks made a trade before the game. You know Michael Frolik very well. Can you just give us a quick scouting report on the newest Blackhawk?
Oh, Kitchy, sorry, we technical problems, and Mike Kitchen, unfortunately, the headset went out on him, so our apologies for that. And I'm sure he'll be able to give us an update on Michael Frolik at a later time, but he's got a job in front of him here trying to get the Blackhawks 2 important points coming up here in the third period.
I actually like the question.
It was a great setup. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the answer.
This third period of Blackhawks hockey is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward.
It's going to be icing here against Edmonton.
For people just joining us, the Blackhawks made a trade with the Florida Panthers, sending Jack Skilly and a couple of other players to the Florida Panthers for a goaltender and a center iceman, Michael Frolik, who's had 8 goals on the season. The last 2 years scored back-to-back 21-goal season. So the Blackhawks adding to their top 6.
Now the Oilers, Cogliano. Good back pressure there from Kane, who did made a good defensive play, and Nick Leddy rolled it to center ice. Back in, Liam Reddick. Patrick Sharp pushed it up the boards. Gilbert kept it in there. Now Schmid, a long wrister, is blocked by Leddy. And puck bounced loose back toward Leddy. He needs help from Keith. He goes high off the glass to Sonny. Gave it to Leddy. Schmid for Edmonton. Gave it to Sam Gagne. He's checked by Fernando Pisani. Puck comes loose to Bickle. Pisani leaves it in the corner. Schmid is checked by Bowen. And now a whistle and a penalty coming up here.
Another penalty to the Edmonton Oilers. The Hawks have had 4 power plays to this point. And it looks like the Oilers are. And it's going to be on Ladislav Schmid. Oh, the 5th power play opportunity coming for the Hawks. Oilers have not had an opportunity. Now, this is a big power play here, Pat. You mentioned Mike Kitchen at the end of that second period. The Oilers started coming. Corey Crawford, a couple of great stops. This is an opportunity to really put this game away. I believe you can make it 3-0.
Hawks power play nothing out of 4 tonight, and 0 for their last 13. Just 1 for 17 so far on this road trip. Here's Kane. It rolled free, and Cogliano Sends it the other way. Pass bounced off Kopetsky's blade, now to play. So now Boland, Brouwer, and Bickle form the second power play unit in front of Keith and Campbell.
The tree bees and those two.
Boland got pushed to the ice. Hawks will need to regroup. Here's Campbell. Dumping it in. Bickle to the corner. Spins it in behind to Brouwer, but Keith was not at the point to keep it in.
Oh, big collision in the corner. Jimmy Vandermeer and Brian Bickle, after Bickle carried that puck up, got into the right wing corner in a major collision.
Kane tried to pass that one to himself, but it didn't work out, and this Hawk power play getting nothing generated yet. Half a minute remains on it. Jonathan Taves gets the line. Goes wide on Gilbert. Turns deep center. It was at the feet of Seabrook, though. And the Hawks, again, unable to get it to the net. Patrick Sharp leads the final rush. And a dump-in attempt went off a skate and out of play.
Well, let's take a look at our Harris Bank check replay. Talking about that major collision. There it is. Former Hawk Jimmy Vandermeer and Brian Bickle. Bickle be able to stay on the ice there. And both players kind of shaking a little bit there. Bickle putting the bucket back on, and then as Vandermeer was coming up, he's kind of flexing that arm.
Well, that finishes a dreadful Chicago power play. Wow, the Hawks never got the puck to the net. And in 5 power plays tonight, nothing out of 5, and only 4 shots on goal for the Chicago power play tonight. Stolberg in behind it. Dow looks to slip it in front. Down low was Dubnyk with his goal stick. And the puck went out of play, and another penalty coming up here to the Oil.
Well, it's on Jimmy Vandermeer. Yeah, right there, he's fixed the stick between the legs of Ryan Johnson. Johnson tries to move and go for the puck. And the right call being made.
Now the draw taken by Sharp to Kane.
Big Oilers penalty number 2, Jim Vandermeer.
Patrick Kane to Brent Seabrook. Again to Kane. Kopetsky's at the front of the net. There's Taves driving in. He couldn't get the pass through. Kopetsky for Kane. He scores! Patrick Kane, a neat blind setup. A back pass from Kopetsky to Kane, and bang! It's 3-0.
So the Edmonton Oilers are going to be penalized. After this puck goes in, what a pass by Taves to Kopetsky, and then Patrick Kane, no hesitation at all on a power play. And the Hawks needed it, and that man right there put it in.
And Peckham given a misconduct penalty.
Might be another guy going too, Pat. Cogliano as well. Boy, referee Kelly Sutherland, both players, they both got 10-minute misconducts. I mean, if you're Kelly Sutherland, you've given the Blackhawks 6 straight power plays. They score A couple of players bark at you, and you give both guys on the same play. Pat, I don't think I've seen that in all my years of playing in broadcasting games where two players get misconducts for barking at the referee. Now this goes back to the game the other night in Calgary. Couldn't the same thing happen with Brent Seabrook at the end of the game, giving him 10 for yelling at the referee?
They gave him 2.
Right. Yeah. You put the other team in an advantage of power play, where certainly it's the discretion of the referee.
Everly in on Henry. But cleared up the boards. Vandermeer kept it in. Boland took it away. Triggers it ahead. Here's Bickle waiting for a little help. A wrister is blocked. Now the Oilers send it in. Duncan Keith cleared it to center, then got it back. Send it in. Vandermeer. And Hemsky pushed it out to center. Petrie steps in. Taken away by Keith. Ryan Johnson sends it up the board. This one held in by Petrie. Fakes, got a man down, now walks. Hot pass for Hemsky. He dropped it back. Schmid shot it wide. Held in by Petrie. Now Hemsky looks toward Penner. The puck never got to him. Good breakup by Keith. It was then flattened in behind the Hawks goal by Big Dustin Penner. Schmid got it into the corner. Hemsky is checked. And it squirts loose to Penner. Jammed away by Johnson. Here's Stahlberg up the ice. Keith going to catch him. Stahlberg walks in. And a couple of Oilers got back nicely defensively. Colin Fraser dumped it in. Omark rings it around the boards. Payarby in behind. Fraser missed Omark with a pass. And now the Hawks. Kane back up the ice. Patrick Kane, a spinorama. Center. Oh, and he just missed the stick of Taves, who was driving the net. Payarby to the other end. Turned it over to Seabrook. Back in Omark. Put it across. A one-timer is off the mark from Payarby. Held in by Vandermeer. Hjalmarsson took it away. Couldn't get it past Gilbert. Nicholas Hjalmarsson able to hoist it out of there. Oilers dump it back in. Hjalmarsson. His clearing attempt comes right back to him. He finds Campbell. Campbell rolled it to Boland. Now Bickle into the zone. The wrist shot is blocked. Boland leaves it for Pisani. He walks to the net, tried to slip it in front, just missed Bickle. Picked up by Campbell. To Pisani with a shot. And a save by Dubnyk. Rebound to the Oilers. And back they come. Taylor Hall. Good stand-up play by Dave Boland right at the blue line.
Boland got shaken up a little bit too, Pat, on that play.
Now the Oilers, Vandermeer. Pass deflecting, and Stahlberg put it back the other way. Icing coming up here against Chicago.
Well, the Blackhawks returned home finally to the United Center on Wednesday, February 16th to take on the Minnesota Wild at 7 o'clock. Be one of the first 10,000 fans to receive a Tony Esposito bobblehead presented by Dow Chemical. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for ticket information.
Well, looks like they did a great job with Tony's mask on that bobblehead. Dustin Penner slipped it out in front. Now Vandermeer trying to bank it to the front of the goal. Penner picked it up in deep. Hemsky to Penner. Alex Hemsky Had it taken away by Victor Stahlberg, and he's able to get it out of there. Petrie's long pass taken by Horkoff. Hawks then able to take it right back. Duncan Keith dropped it to Patrick Kane. Sharp looks back toward Leddy, was out of his reach. And Reddick's for Edmonton, left it for Schmid. Gilbert to Schmid, and he'll backhand it out of the zone. Jammed away from Leddy to Payarvi, looking toward the goal and rolled free. They're trying to freeze it at the side of the net, but the Oilers jam it loose. And Omar came up for Edmonton. Going to be a Chicago penalty here. Hawks control. Whistle sounds. And the fans delighted by the first minor penalty taken by the visitors tonight. We're halfway through the third. Hawks lead by 3.
Well, in our Subway Star Tracker at the top of the screen, you see the numbers for the captain, Jonathan Toews. Couple assists tonight. And how about this run the last 5 games? 10 points for the captain. He's sitting by himself in the penalty box. He does that free hand there. And around the left arm of Omar.
This the 15th multi-point game this year for Jonathan Toews. Oilers on their first power play tonight. The Hawks have given up 3 out of 13 on this road trip while short-handed. Foster's long one. Good stick there by Bolin.
To number 19, Jonathan Toews. 2 minutes for holding. The time 9 minutes 15 seconds. Blackhawks lead. Toews holding.
Now Bolin and Horkoff for the draw. Hemsky moved early, so Horkoff will get tossed. And the faceoff to the Oilers. Foster moves toward the middle. Foster's one-timer is blocked by Jake Dow. Ales Hemsky tees up a long one. That's blocked by Brent Seabrook. Hemsky lost it. Bolin, though, couldn't get it out. It's held into Hemsky. Then he lost it. And Penner taken away by Hjalmarsson. His clearing attempt is kept in. Omar put it up the boards. Penner toward the middle. Horkoff's got it. Linus Omar to the middle. Foster's one-timer. Crawford had a good look at that.
With Dustin Penner, I don't know if he was anticipating any kind of a rebound, but he just got stuck in cement and just stood there and would have had a wide open net if he just would have moved just a bit after that shot from Foster.
.40 seconds for the Edmonton power play. ARB looks for Hall. He's hit by Johnson. Going to be a penalty coming up here against Ryan Johnson. Centering pass. Oh, and Foster missed it. It goes to Payarvi. He's going to turn it over, or try to. Gagne shooting. He missed the far post. Now back to Gagne. Walks in. Campbell picked it off. And the whistle with 15 seconds left in the first Chicago penalty.
Well, 5-on-3 for 15 seconds coming up, but here's that opportunity. Oilers do a good job of moving around the shot by Foster. There's the shot, and Dustin Penner stick up in the air. When that shot is going towards the net, you got to start moving towards the net. You can't just stand there. That's the wide open net.
Omar goes across. Here's Hall walking in, trying to stuff it home. Down low is Crawford. It's loose. Jam back to the boards. Going to be held in by Omar. Walks in. Sends it side of the net. Then Hemsky to Omar. He put it across. Hall looks back. Good
stick Keith. Just out of the box is Taves, but he couldn't clear it. Now Penner out of the corner, drives to the net. Good shoulder by Duncan Keith against a much bigger forward who was trying to muscle his way in front. And the Hawks finally get it out.
Oh, they've had a great battle. The battle amongst the biggest one. The game, Dustin Penner and Duncan Keith have had a couple of run-ins here tonight. And you mentioned it, Pat. Great strength there by Duncan. A much larger human in Dustin Penner.
Gagne to Hall. He rolled it out to the line. Omark. Put it across. Foster's pass hit a stick. Now Hall is checked by Brouwer. Brouwer jammed it loose and Hjalmarsson cleared it. .45 for the Oiler power play. Here's Petrie. Eberle taken away by Seabrook, then Horcoff got it back. Horcoff dropped it to Payarvi, back to the captain, Sean Horcoff. He put it toward Petrie, but it was not in his wheelhouse. Eberle poked it to the corner, and Gagne spins it back. Long shot deflected wide. Taken by Horcoff. Payarvi to Petrie with a one-timer. Good stick kick save by Crawford. Rebound back to Horcoff. Payarvi into the circle for Petrie. Second Hawks penalty over. Here's Eberle trying to go goal mouth. Just out of the box was Johnson. He steals. And both teams are at full strength. Eberle cleared it to center ice. Frazier steps in. Left it for Reddick with a backhand shot that Crawford grabs with 6 minutes remaining in the third. 3-0 Chicago. Time now for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moment.
And Blackhawks goaltender Corey Crawford, 19 stops to this point. 12 of them in that second period. A couple of great chances, probably 4 or 5 in the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds of that second period.
Now Foster back for the Oilers. Hall rolled it to center. Eberle with Gagne heading for the net. Eberle couldn't get the puck there. Keith in the way. Jordan Eberle had it taken away by Nick Leddy. Got it to Bickle. And Bickle dumped it in. How do you like this pairing of Leddy and matched up with Duncan Keith tonight?
I've liked it, Pat. They haven't spent too much time in their own zone defending. A little different dynamic. A little bit different look with, obviously, when Brent Seabrook's there with Duncan Keith. Well, so far, so good. And I think also, too, is when you change lines up or you change defensive pairs around. We've seen Joel do that. And it gets your attention. You know, and concentration level's got to really be there because you know exactly what the other guy's going to do before he does it. I think it's just to, shake some things up, and I've liked it.
All right, now Gilbert for Edmonton. Penner comes away. Dustin Penner goes wide on Hendry, trying to muscle to the net. Couldn't get rid of a shot. Looks to center. Campbell broke up that pass and cleared the zone. That was knocked down with a high stick by an Edmonton player. The Oilers next to touch it, so the whistle sounds. 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third period. Blackhawks have goals from Sharp, Bickle, and Kane. Time now for our KFC fan cam.
You got a puck. He was happy, huh? You got a little puck. Wow. Working with the big cameras. That big guy look. There's something wrong with that one. The little kid's working the big camera. You got the little guy, the big guy working the little one.
Youth will be served. Payarvi going in. Couldn't get rid of a shot. Tried to center. It didn't get to the front of the net. Payarvi has it back. Centered. Touch pass to the side. And Crawford downstairs trying to smother, which he does.
Well, we showed you our U.S. Cellular text message poll question a little earlier. Well, here are the results to this point. You still have time to vote. The final results will be on the Jose Cuervo Blackhawks postgame show coming up immediately right after the game.
Oh, a nice save on a Hall redirect. That puck changed direction as well. That's 3 or 4 tip shots that Corey Crawford has managed to stop tonight. Bickle tried to slip it in front. Eberle steals. Ebony took the ivory puck and cleared it ahead. Here's Hall. Couldn't get to the goal. It's jammed back to the line. Foster for Vandermeer. His long shot. Safe.
A couple of glorious opportunities for the Edmonton Oilers late in the second, here in the third. Foster to Vandermeer, big rebound given up, and watch the reaction of Corey Crawford after Eberle puts that one in. And it feels like, Pat, that he should have had that opportunity. I don't know if it was the rebound he gave up or the shot by Eberle was right on the ice, and it found its way to the back of the net. The Hawks got to have a good, strong shift here and expect the Edmonton defenseman to be coming. Look out.
Here's a chance. As Hemsky's bid denied. And giving up goals quickly to the Oilers was a factor in both Blackhawk losses in the United Center. In the first game, they scored 2 goals in 14 seconds, Edmonton. Those are the only 2 goals they needed to win. Hawks only scored 1 that game. The next time they played in the United Center, Edmonton scored 3 goals in 69 seconds. The Hawks need to come up with a good couple of shifts to stem the tide. Hall battles his way into the Blackhawk zone. Left it for Gagne to Hall. Now Johnson looks to clear. Petrie is checked. And the Hawks' Brow are able to muscle it back to center ice.
Yeah, good strong play, winning that battle at the blue line.
And here comes Dubnyk to the bench. 2.5 minutes remaining. 6 skaters for Edmonton. Hawks clear the puck out of the zone. No, the Oilers down 2, and Ralph Kruger says full court press.
We haven't seen much of Arian Hulse, have we, Pat, at all?
No.
Period.
Puck in front, just eluded Penner. Now it's held in by Petrie. They fight for it in the corner. Oilers jam it loose. Eberle tried to slip it in front. Hacked back by Hjalmarsson. Held in nicely by Payarvi. A long centering attempt comes all the way through. Hjalmarsson got it out of there. Icing coming up here against Chicago.
Remember Marian Hossa took that shot from Ladislav Schmid we showed in that second period. Hossa came back after that, trying to get a good look at the bench.
Eddie, he is not on the Blackhawks bench. I'm just looking down and do not see 81 on the bench for Chicago here in this third period. Timeout Edmonton as the Oilers circle the wagons, trying to find 2 goals in the last 104 seconds of the third. Take a look at our upcoming schedule. We'll be in Dallas on Friday, in Phoenix on Saturday. Oh, and the United Center is open for a hockey game. Hallelujah. We're back there on Wednesday night against the rejuvenated Minnesota Wild, a team that I think both of us left for dead not that long ago, but they are right back in the playoff fight. In fact, ahead of the Blackhawks at the moment. So they'll be in on Wednesday night, and the Blue Jackets in next Friday. Still, the goal to our right is empty. Oilers win a draw. Here's a long shot off a leg to Hjalmarsson. Penner kept it in. Now Hall unable to pick it up on the boards. Rolled free. Kopetsky chased it down. Thomas Kopetsky going to head for the empty net. Missed it. Did a good job, though, of getting to the red line before attempting the shot. Hemsky got it in. Ball to the middle. It jumped away from him. Seabrook. Now taken back by Hemsky. Patrick Kane working the boards. He's able to come up with it. Kane rolled it back to the Oilers zone. We get to the final minute of the third. Hemsky to Gagne. His pass missing Everly. Seabrook couldn't get it past Omark. Kane able to pick it up to center. Kane for the empty net. Hawks win. Patrick Kane gets his second goal of the game. And the Blackhawks with a 4-1 lead in the final minute.
Now a good performance here tonight by the Hawks. I think it all started, Pat, with the thought process early of get the puck in at the red line and go get it. Get the legs into it. And what that does to the defending team, all of a sudden you start leaving the middle of the ice because you know you want to get back and beat the forecheckers in. And I think the Hawks really did a good job of setting the table, and all of a sudden then space started to open up and go back to the one shift for the Taves line. They had a great shift for about 45, 50 seconds inside the Oilers zone, and in the next shift they scored.
Stahlberg driving in, and Dubnyk with the left pad. Now the Oilers move back in. Everly trying to squeeze through a couple of checks. His backhander is wide to Jordan Hendry. On his second chance, he got it out. And this game comes to an end. The Blackhawks limit the Edmonton offense to only a single goal. That's only the second time in the last 9 games the Hawks have held their opponents to 2 or less. It was team defense that really spurred a nice run for the Hawks a while ago. And they did a terrific job. It really was till the end of the second period before Edmonton got anything going offensively.
Yeah, they had the puck and real diligent. Lots of stopping and starting and staying. Talking to Joel Quenneville about that, about defense. Making sure you're taking care of your front of your net, and a good performance by Corey Crawford.